Hey, once this is the Top Fin Escape 5-gallon tank here. This is from PetSmart. So this is a very cool tank, but it's also a pretty bad tank at the same time here. So let's go over the good stuff first. So first good thing is the size. It is 5 gallons, so that is more than enough for a beta. It's actually like perfect for a beta. It's basically a cube, which is good. It's a little bit taller than it is wide or long, but for the most part it is basically a cube. So first good thing there is the size. Again, basically perfect for beta, or if you want to get some like cherry shrimp or something, this would probably be a very cool, good tank for them. Second good thing is that extra little tank there. That is both a good and a bad thing. Right now we're focused on the good stuff though. So it's cool, it's very unique. I don't think I've ever seen another kit with something like that. Yes, you can make your own version of this, but as kits come, this is the only one that I have ever seen, at least, that has that extra little tank up top. Guesstimating it's probably around 1/4 of a gallon that's actually coming out of the main tank. So, and it's cool when your fish goes up there and looks around and stuff. So that is a very cool feature. It's very nice looking. It's very cool looking. Third thing that's very good and cool about this is the build quality. So the seams all around here, and the silicone, it looks like someone actually took their time and did a very good job with it. The silicone is very, very good looking. Again, it looks like someone actually took their time. Unlike other tanks where they just kind of slather on a bunch of silicone and call it a day, this one, they actually looks like they took and made it very precise and very clean looking. So this is a very elegant looking tank, I would say. And I'd also imagine if you took off that top tank little part there, the extra tank, it maybe even look more elegant. And the next good, cool thing here is the lights. So you actually have, I'll lift up the camera, hopefully not make it jar too much. You have this very big button, you guys can hardly see. There you go, that white button there. It is touch sensitive, and I said it is big. Usually when they're touch sensitive, they're nowhere near that big. But that one's nice and big. It works very well for the most part. So you just touch it, and it turns on. Touch it again, it'll change through different colors. So you have a whole bunch of different colors here. That's my favorite. It's like a red purple, and you see it also does shine up into this tank. Again, it looks better in person than you will see through the camera here. So I darken it out, and you can sort of see a bit better. So yeah, I think it's 7 different colors or so, and also a cycle at the end. So that is very, very cool. There's 2 big strips on both sides that do it, and then touch and hold and it turns off. So much better than their other ones where they have an actual physical switch. That was just a pain in the butt to use. It just took longer, and to me it was just more of an annoyance than anything. So that is a very cool feature of this tank. Alright, then let's talk about some bad stuff here. Sorry, I keep putting my hand in. You see my reflection of my hand there. So let's talk about some bad things. First bad thing is the price. And there's my beta. She's a good thing. Is the price. Normally priced, this is an $80 tank. Yes, the price of glass has gone up, which is what this is made of, which is actually a good thing too. But $80, this tank is not worth it. On sale, these are about $50. I believe I paid about 50 bucks for this. $50, it's maybe worth it, but it's definitely that's up to you guys. I don't know if it's really worth $50 or not. It's a really cool tank, but as we're going to get to here, it does have its issues. Next bad thing, we're going to talk about this cube here again. So, there is a top view of it, and bad thing is, you can see all these bubbles. For some reason, I don't know, mine's just on a slant or what. You guys let me know if you have one of these tanks, does it have bubbles up here? And they're just everywhere. When I first set this up, there were no real bubbles, but it was an empty air pocket. Then that happened after a few days. So that is a bad thing. Another bad thing, which is a very annoying bad thing here, is anytime you lift up this top, like any other tank, it's going to have water on the top, condensation. That's going to happen, so when you lift it up, water's going to run off of it, and usually you can just get it to go back into the tank itself. But on this tank, because of this guy, this gets in your way. You lift this thing up, you can't really let it drip off too well. So I'm going to give you guys a different view here, and we're going to see if you guys can see this. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this. But, so usually, you know, you just let this thing drain. And here you have to be a lot more careful not to get water all over the place. Again, because you have this giant cube here in the middle, it just gets in the way. So a lot of times when I do this, I still got some. Not as bad as sometimes. Now my filter's going nuts. We'll get to the filter in a moment here. But water will just run off and goes all over everything that's behind the tank or to the side of the tank and whatnot. So it's just annoying. I don't know what's happening with that filter. So it's very annoying. Like the other day, I soaked my entire, what is call this, a desk. I soaked the entire wood in the back there. So that is an annoyance and a bad part of this tank. Next, let's talk about this very bad filter. So you guys can see right now, for some reason the water is not even above, hopefully you guys can see it. It's not even above the actual pump there. There we go, calm it down a bit, and it kind of floats. My water level is actually pretty high. It's just right here, which is pretty good. And so you guys can see, it's not actually covering up this. For some reason, the most I've ever seen this filter be is about halfway. It does not fill up all the way like a normal filter does. Next bad thing is you push in this little black piece here. Let's see, or you move this little black piece and you move a certain way and it can stop your filtering altogether. Of course now it's not doing it. So you gotta be careful with that. The filter flows right into your cube. Sorry, the filter flows right into the cube here. So, again, hopefully you guys can see how stagnant this water is on the side here. And you guys probably cannot see this, but there is, yeah, you may see, there's film all over here in the front, and if I didn't have the plants there and the side. So the water gets pretty stagnant up front, but it does flow right into the cube. So right underneath the cube is good, or excuse me, right underneath the filter is good, and it does just a tiny bit. So I'm going to say it probably goes up to about here-ish in filtering of the tank. So that is very bad. This filter is not good. The setup of this filter is not good. They should have just done like an internal filter of some sort to make that better. And you guys can see it is actually doing a decent job of cleaning still, surprisingly. But it just, half the tank, or 3/4 of the tank is just stagnant of water. And again, now it filled itself up more. So it's just a weird filter. It's not the best by any means. Next, let's talk about algae. A lot of tanks do get bad algae. This one is no different. You guys can see all the sides here. There's a bunch of algae. This side there's a bunch of algae. So the light is pretty strong. You of course cannot dim it, and it gets a lot of algae all over the place. Surprisingly, the bottom isn't actually too algae filled, but the sides are bad. The plants, my plants are bad. My soak plants there, as you guys saw, are bad. So algae is an issue. So this is definitely a tank you do not want to have the lights on for too long. One more bad thing too is going back to this cube here. Is maybe my beta is just goofy. Maybe she's not the smartest. She seems like she's pretty smart. Most betas are. But she'll get up into this cube. Like maybe we should do now. Sort of. And you see she kind of gets confused. See, she's like trying to get out of the cube, but she doesn't know exactly how to. Until she finally swims down all the way. So she'll get up here, she'll look around, she'll want to get out of the cube, and she just rams right into the plastic of the cube. Then same thing down here. She'll swim down a bit and try to get out. Again, she'll hit right into the side of the cube. So maybe, again, you guys let me know. Is it just my beta? I don't know. She seems pretty smart otherwise. I mean, she knows where her food comes, which is right here. Anytime I feed her, she comes right up to that little spot. But yeah, so she gets confused about this cube, which is, of course, the main point of this tank. Alright, then let's end this on a good note. So 2 more cool things I like about this, good things I like about this. First is this feeder flap. Not all tanks have a feeder flap. This one, of course, needs it because you have nowhere else to put food into the tank without lifting this entire thing up. Actually, I lied. That's not going to be my last point here. I almost forgot about a major one. So yeah, this is really cool. So this is really good. It doesn't just fall down either. Some are super cheap and flimsy. You flip them up like a little bit and they just go on you. This one stays whichever position you keep it at. So I'm sorry, I almost forgot about the biggest main issue about this tank, at least in my opinion. Don't know how I almost forgot about this, but I almost forgot about this. Then we'll get to one last main good point here. So if you want to do a water change, like you should, you try to use a normal size siphon. Because of this, you're going to have some big issues. So yes, if you'll get this in there, then you have to do the sucking on the other end and get fish water in your mouth. So that'd be very nasty. But to do it without sucking into the other end, so we scoop it in there, kind of do this, scoop it back in there, kind of do this again. That is just not going to work with a normal size siphon here. Maybe you're like me and you have a smaller one. And I have multiple sizes of these. So this is a tiny guy. This will sort of fit. But again, you see, you still have issues. And this is a small one. So again, to do an actual water change, you're going to have to stick this in there and then suck on this end to get it going. Or use something like this where you... And then this will take forever and a day to do proper water change on a 5-gallon tank here. So water changes is the biggest thing that you're going to have issues with. Even if you have one of these small guys. You'll need one even smarter than this to do, you know, get in there, scoop it, get in there, scoop it, if that makes sense. Otherwise you have to sit there and suck on this and get nasty fish water in your mouth. Again, you guys find a better way, you guys let me know. But that is a big issue with this tank, I would say. And then let's talk about the last good thing here. We'll end this, like I said, on a good note. I don't think I forgot anything else. Is this back flap here for the filter. This is actually really cool. It hides your filter. It's not just in, out, and about. So you open this up. There's your filter. There's your filter pad. You can take out your filter pad, put in a new one, do whatever you need to do in your filter here. So that is actually really cool. I really do like that. Just like the front flap here. But for your filter, again, I don't think I've seen that on another tank. You guys can, again, of course, correct me if you've seen that on another tank. I find it very cool. Yeah, so this is, again, the Top Fin Escape 5-gallon tank here. It's not bad for a beta. I imagine it's pretty good for like cherry shrimp or shrimp snail tanks. I said it's a very cool looking tank. It's a pretty elegant looking tank, I would argue. But it does have some flaws here. And I am deciding if I want to take this tank down and put up something else. And I might just go ahead and put up a standard 5-gallon tank here. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this tank. Again, I like it, but it does have its issues. I would never pay $80 for it. $50, maybe. I mean, I did pay that, but... yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Hope you guys have a good one. See you guys next time. I really do appreciate you watching. Goodbye.